Now let's consider some global differences in family patterns you can find around the world, starting with the extended family. Now, the extended family includes the entire family unit, the parents, the children, and other kin. So that would be parents, children, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, nieces, nephews, the entire family caboodle. You know, the people we see on special occasions like weddings, birthdays, funerals, that kind of thing, in the United States. But in some countries, the extended family live very close, if not in the same village, in the same home. In the United States, we tend to emphasize the nuclear family. So the nuclear family consists of one or two parents and the children. So the nuclear family is part of the extended family, but the extended family is not part of the nuclear family. And then there's endogamy versus exogamy. If you marry someone like yourself, that is endogamy. Same race, same class, same religion. You could even say same sex, because here in the United States, we do have legalized same-sex marriage. So again, endogamy is when you marry someone of the same social background as you. The opposite of that is exogamy. So exogamy is when you marry someone of a different social category. So interfaith, someone Christian marrying someone Muslim. Interracial, someone white marrying someone black. Interclass, someone rich marrying someone poor. So you're marrying outside of your social category. Now, let's look at the others. Monogamy versus polygamy. Monogamy is the only legal form of marriage in the United States. You can get married as many times as you like, but you only get one spouse at a time, which means that when you get married, you apply for a marriage license and you marry that one individual. But if you decide to marry again, and that's someone else, then you got to divorce your spouse you're married to now before you can marry legally to someone else. Polygamy is practiced in some countries, which allows you to have more than one spouse. So polygamy is marriage between 3 or more people. Now, these are examples of a polygamous union. Hope you can see this. So, polygyny is when a man has multiple wives. So a man with more than one wife, that is called a polygynous union or polygyny. Polyandry is when a woman has multiple husbands, and that's rare. It's rare that you'll find a polygamous union where a woman has more than one husband. The more common form of polygamy is polygyny. And then there is residential patterns. How couples live after they marry. Patrilocality means that when the couple marries, they go off and live with the husband side of the family. Now, I'm not talking about moving in with your in-laws and living in their basement. I'm talking about the wife becoming a complete part of her husband's family and leaving her family of origin behind. So if you think about biblical examples like when Leah and Rachel married Jacob and they left their father Laban, that was an example of that. When Sarah married Abraham and she completely left her family and they never saw her again. That's an example of patrilocality. So patra meaning male, close to the father or the husband's side of the family. The opposite of that is matrilocality, when the couple marries and they go off to live with the wife's side of the family. So the son becomes the husband becomes more of a son to his in-laws than he is a son-in-law. So that is matrilocality. Now, neolocality is when a couple marries and they live opposite or separate from both sides of the family. So you don't live with your in-laws at all. And you go off to have your own private marital life. That's what we practice in the United States, where we don't believe in-laws should get involved in couples' personal marital issues. And then there's descent, the system by which people trace their kinship over generations. So if you're going to trace your family tree, if you do it only on your father's side of the family, that's patrilineal. If you only trace your mother's side of the family, that's matrilineal. If you trace both sides of the family, that's bilateral. And in the United States, we tend to look at both sides of our family tree when we know both sides of our family and we want to trace our family history.